Hello and welcome to the Race to Zero Carbon. In this video series, we're going to show you how to beat climate change in a whole new way. Not just how to reduce some emissions or how to block pipelines, but how to get your entire state all the way to zero carbon and beyond. We're not going to talk about the problem of climate change. We assume you already know about it and how urgent it is for us to get all the way to zero carbon. If you're not clear on that, drop us a note. We will hook you up with some motivation. We'll be going over things quickly. If you have any questions at any point, feel free to ask. Tweet, email. We will be making follow-up videos, and we look forward to hearing from you. I'm Rezwan Razani. I'm the founder of Footprint to Wings, a new 501c3. Our goal is to turn the race to zero carbon into a national pastime and coach each state to win. Our approach is endorsed by Dr. James Hansen. He's the climate scientist that blew the whistle on climate change, and he is now at Columbia. Here's his website, and he has got this great newsletter, which you should definitely sign up for. And here we are. Footprint to Wings is taking the climate change game to a whole new level. And when we say game, we don't mean something trivial. We are more serious than anyone about this game, and more importantly, about winning it. A game is an activity governed by rules and metrics. It can be fun, but it's not trivial, especially not this game. The stakes of this game are high. The stakes of this game are the peace and prosperity of mankind, the ecological vitality of our planet, and our classification as an intelligent species worthy of a planet. If we don't win this game, the planet will tip from the abundant paradise that we have now into an unbearable, depressing hellscape. Survivors, they're going to have to be fighting over degraded remnants, cannibalizing each other. It's going to be awful. I don't know about you. I am not interested in playing hellscape survival games, except maybe as a video game. So let's focus. Let's win the race to zero carbon right now. We're all caught in a life and death game, whether we admit it or not, and we need to win this game. Now, when we focus on the life and death part, it makes a lot of people want to run and hide and not think about it. But when we focus on the game part, that's more interesting. It makes people think, hey, wait a minute, maybe I can win it. How do I play it? It makes it easier to coach. Now, some people say, race to zero carbon, you should talk to the president or the UN. And the idea there is that this is a game for politicians at a high level. It's not for us little guys here. What can we do? You're actually the main driver of this game. You are the player. And we're going to talk more about that in the next video. Politicians do have a role to play in this game, but you can't start with them. Politicians can't lead this game because they're playing a different game, and it's called Stay in Office. And in order to win that game, they need to make inspiring speeches about change, but move as slowly as possible. So what they end up doing is negotiating with climate scientists for time. They're like, can I leave this to the next administration? How about 80% by 2050? Does that work? Is there a consensus? Many politicians do want to win climate change, but they can't get anywhere unless the voters, the special interests, demand it and support it. We're the main drive. We're the player. We the people, special interests, voters, citizens. You are the player. The same goes for corporations. Many of them want to make changes in the climate and what they're doing, but they can't unless the consumers and shareholders demand it. You are the player. When we say we're turning the race to zero carbon into a national pastime, we mean national pastime. We mean the whole country into it. Everyone, heart and soul, all over the details, the plays, the numbers, engaged in the drama of it all, talking about it at the kitchen table, at the water coolers, bars, barbecues. There is a model for how this works, and that's football. Football is a rough sport involving running a ball down a field. The NFL took this sport and turned it into a national ritual with dramatic entrances, dramatic coverage, and a super finale at the end of the year. Every step of the way, the football journey is televised, analyzed, lived and relived, often in super slow motion. The NFL is amazing. They turned football into a national pastime by clarifying the game, by embracing television and any technology that magnifies how the game is viewed, understood, played, and officiated, and without shying away from numbers and technical subjects. In fact, they serve them up over and over in slow motion and from different angles. They serve them with beer ads. They help you see the field of play and what needs to happen on and off the field to make the plays work. They're constantly telling you the score and letting you know he could go all the way. Could this approach be applied to the race to zero carbon? Behind football, behind the fans and the players, the teams, the officials, the announcers, there's a framework. The NFL didn't just hope football would become a national pastime. They organized to make it that way, and they keep reorganizing to keep it that way. Likewise, we are organizing to turn the race to zero carbon into a national pastime, and we're hoping you'll join us and help us shape the framework. Okay, so it's like this. Our framework takes everything we know about getting to zero carbon and puts it on the table. All the plays on the table. You got your renewables, your nuclear, your conservation, lifestyle change, energy efficiency, geoengineering. All these plays, we drill into them, we look at all the options, all the obstacles, and we coach. And there's a lot more than that. So we're taking all the nitty-gritty data, zero carbon strategy, everything, marrying it with national pastime technology, with player psychology, motivation, performance coaching. Our framework is inclusive. It's transpartisan, state versus state. So we're open to red state plays, blue state plays, and wild card plays. Okay, so now we're rallying the players. Everyone's out there pledging to and committing to get to zero carbon. So the next thing we need to do, of course, is to formalize the race. And this means to officially register states in the race, to standardize the way the race is officiated, announced, and tracked, and to, of course, set up the Zero Carbon Broadcast Network. Now, in order to do all this, we are putting together the Zero Carbon Competition Committee. And we're raising funds, and we're looking for partners who are going to help us pull this off. Okay, so what we want is people who are committed to getting all the way to zero carbon and beyond. We're looking for a dream team of referees, coaches, announcers, broadcasters, people who really want to win this game and who want to apply their skill set to winning this game. You know who you are. If this is you, please join us. Football is a game where you run a ball down a field. The race to zero carbon is a lot like that. It's a game where your whole state runs your carbon footprint down to zero and sequesters it in the fossil fuel end zone. In the next video, we'll look at the rules of the race, who the teams and players are, and how you can best coordinate to win the game. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, and if you're ready to join us right now, send us an email, let's talk. Wait, what? Race to zero carbon? Is that even possible? If you don't really feel you can win this game, a lot of people really feel hopeless. They feel, it's not winnable. We can talk about it all day, but I don't see it happening. For those of you who feel that way, I invite you to take the tablecloth challenge. We've got a video on that coming up. But take the tablecloth challenge and flip. There's a psychic switch inside of you that needs to be flipped. You need to see that, it's possible.